Is by this guy called XY But today we're doing a rant on the worst dungeon in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That is Dark Hill. So what is so bad about Dark Hill? And why is it such a bad dungeon? Okay. People are like, what's so bad about this dungeon? One, the dungeon is full of ghost types. If you don't know, ghost types are very annoying in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. First of all, ghost types can go through walls. Okay, which it's funny. The player they get punished if you play as a ghost type or use an orb that makes it go through walls. You get basically punished. Okay, but in the game, the Pokemon that you're the Pokemon that you are playing that are enemies, the wild Pokemon. Well, guess what? They can go through as many walls as they want. They can go through, as many goddamn walls as they want, as they please. Okay, and it's just annoying. Okay, so there are several fight you can find it annoying, like Duskull. I think the Gengar line, Baynet. Okay, and all of these Pokemon all know one move, two moves that are very very annoying. Okay, that make this dungeon a hell. First, if you're a normal type, well, guess what? All ghost types are a little affected. You can actually attack ghost types as a normal type, but if you do not have any good moves against dark types, you're gonna struggle in this dungeon. Okay, because this dungeon only gets harder as the forest goes on. But every ghost type, there's also some other Pokemon in the dungeon that are not as annoying, like Gliscor and Cradle, I think, are in this dungeon. But the annoying Pokemon are basically the ghost types. Okay, and there's another symbol doesn't Pokemon Mystery doesn't that one that is pretty bad. They have to go to if you want to recruit certain Pokemon, which is Dark Knight Relic. But this is a mandatory dungeon, not a dungeon where you have to. If you want all the Pokemon, you have to get it. But no, this is the dungeon that is just absolutely awful. So every ghost type Pokemon knows Curse and knows what's the other attack? They know Curse and they know Spite. So what does Curse do? Okay, if you have ever played Pokemon as well, there's two types of Pokemon that can use Curse. So non-ghost type Pokemon, it's kind of like a status move. Okay, it's kind of like a status move basically, and ghost type Pokemon. If you're not a ghost type, if a ghost type Pokemon uses Curse on you, okay, the user will lose maximum HP, rounded down, and put a curse on that target. If this causes the user's HP to drop, he the move will execute fully, and it will lose the cause the user to faint. This, of course, happens in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon too. And the thing is, you can get monster houses in this dungeon as well. Okay, you can get monster houses in this dungeon as well. So you can get a whole monster house full of ghost types as well here. And the other annoying move, oh yeah, there's also Mischievous. I think I'm a Mischievous, but basically this dungeon is full of ghost types. Basically, Gengar, Mischievous, and of course, Baynet. And there was another Pokemon. Oh yeah, Duskull I think was in this dungeon too. Okay, I could go see. What Pokemon I found in this dungeon? Okay, Dusclops, not Duskull. Duskull is not found in this dungeon. So Dusclops, Mischievous, Baynet, Gastly, Haunter, Gengar, and Bayonet's only found to 4-7, but throughout this whole dungeon, there's ghost types. Okay, the only non-ghost type Pokemon are actually not a huge issue. So there's two non-ghost type Pokemon throughout this dungeon. Oh wow! And that's of course Claydol and Gliscor. They can be found in this dungeon as well here. Yeah, but they're not the big problem. They are still pretty annoying to deal with. But the annoying Pokemon are the ghost types. Okay. Curse and Spite do a lot. First of all, Spite gets rid of all of your PP. Okay. So you may have to rely if you are not careful. A ghost type Pokemon may use Spite on you and you'll lose all your PP. Okay? And now you see why this dungeon is so infuriating. Okay? And Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 1 has a dungeon like that. It's pretty infuriating, like in the post game. A few of them. But none of them are, this is why I linked Dark Hill last place as well here. Because Dark Hill is very, very annoying. Doesn't go through. It's very, very long. It's very tedious. It's like 15 floors in this dungeon. And yeah, you may lose all your PP from a ghost type, from a Haunter, a Gengar, Mischievous, and Dusclops. Where do you find Duskull then? Because maybe Duskull is found in Chasm Cave. Let's see. No, Duskull is not found in Chasm Cave. I know Duskull is found in that Sky Tower dungeon later on. I think I found Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 2. Yeah, but yeah. I think that is it about my rant on Dark Hill, the worst dungeon in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the most main story dungeon. I think the worst dungeon in the entire game is still Aegis Cave. Okay? And that's because of how annoying. Oh yeah, and later on, Dusclops has Pressure. That's also pretty annoying because you're going to be fighting a lot of Dusclops as well here. Yeah, this dungeon overall is just pretty annoying. And yeah, not a very great dungeon, I think, as well here. I don't know if some people really don't like the future dungeons because they're just annoying and you have. But at least with some of the future dungeons, at least with most of the future dungeons, you only have to go for them once and never again. But that's about Dark Hill, the worst dungeon in the main story in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and why it's such a bad dungeon. And yeah, goodbye.